Alright, welcome to the next section. In this section, we will be talking about controllers. Now, let's start from the beginning. So, to talk about controllers, we first need to understand routing. Now, routing is basically defining for what paths, for what URLs, and for what HTTP verbs, what code needs to be executed. Now, typical route is defined by using an HTTP verb. By default, it's always get and some path, let's say /events. But routes can also have parameters, and those parameters can be optional. For example, if you would like to fetch one event, you would define a route with an ID parameter. Now, after the route is matched, it means the user has typed a route that is matching some defined pattern. A controller action is executed. Now, this would bring us to controllers. We'll be talking about controllers in this section. Essentially, controller is a class that contains some actions which run some code as a reaction to a route being matched. So that's like an interface to your API, entry point of your application. Now, controllers can use different other classes like service classes, repositories, and other things we'll learn about a little later. Optionally, those classes return something back to the controller, but eventually the job of the controller is to return some data. Now, with APIs, we'll be typically returning the data. That is usually JSON data, but might be different depending on your needs. So essentially, this section is all about the basics of how to make controllers, how to make them react to certain routes, which means we will be defining different routes, and we'll be also talking about how a controller can accept a request body and how can you type this body using TypeScript. So after completing this section, you should know everything about controllers in Nest.js.